Hello, my crafty friends. Welcome back to another Zoom class tutorial. This class was held on Sunday, the 15th of May, 2022, and we made a twist and pop card, but we made a little twist at the end. So be sure to stick around until the end of this video for the extra bit that you can do with a twist and pop card. So if you're not familiar with a twist and pop card, they've been around for a long time. You can make them in any size. This is a 4x6 and it's in landscape. So the front of the card is just as per normal. And then when you open it up, it twists and folds out this extra piece. So it's just done with a mechanism in here. Very, very easy to do. And what you get left with is 4 little panels on this here. You get also 2 panels here. So you could use this as a card. You could also put photos on here if you wanted to, include a photo. You can just write your message on here if you wanted to write your message. And then it just folds back down. It just folds back down. We'll post as a standard card. And you just need to, with your embellishments, just be mindful that in here it needs to be flat. You can't have any dimension in here. Otherwise, it does interfere with this mechanism when it closes up. And then that's just normal on the back. So I'm going to show you how to make the twist and pop card, sorry. And then at the end, we're going to add into that and make a little surprise gift as well. So I hope you stick around to the end. Now, I will go through the measurements of this, but the measurements are on my Facebook page, Crafty Fun with Mary. Just click into the Zoom class event and you'll find all the dimensions for the card here, but I will go through them with you now. So your base card, so we'll just put that to the side. So your base card is 12 by 4 and scored down the middle and just folded in half. The mechanism piece is, I think, is 8 by 3.5, scored down the middle, and then we do some horizontal, like a cross, diagonal score lines here, and they are 2 3/4 inches. 2 1/4 inches, marking 2 1/4 inches from each end, top and bottom, and then you just score across to those check marks. And then your panel piece is 3.5 by 10, so 3.5 by 10, and scored at every 2.5. So 2.5, 5, which would be a halfway mark, and then 7.5. And that's it. That's the base of your card. And then the rest is just mats and layers. So I have 2 pieces that are 4 by 3 3/4, so 2 of those. And then the mats that sit on top of that, I need to get a new blade so everything's a bit furry. So the mats that sit on that are 3 3/4 by 3.5, and you want 2 of those. And then you want 4 pieces for your this panel piece here. And the mat layer for those is 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and you need 4 of those. And then the paper layer is 3 by 2, and you need 4 of those as well. So that's all you need to make the actual card, and then the rest is just embellishments. So we'll put this together. So you just fold in your card base. So you're going to make a landscape side fold card base that then comes down to 4 by 6. And we're just going to go and score all of these crease lines. Now this is a concertina fold for your panel in the middle. It's raining here in Bargara, Queensland. It's been raining all night, and unfortunately Queensland's had some terrible floods again down in southeast Queensland. And it's the third time this year. It's very sad for all those involved. So the mechanism is not tricky. Once you've done one, it really is a lot easier once then to do other ones, but it isn't tricky. It just, if you've scored it all correctly, it will fold into place. So what you end up with is this piece here that's got the cross. And this is what's going to form this mechanism here. And so what you need to do, so this piece here is these triangles are what's going to end up on top. So you sort of, and it looks like it's a bit fiddly, but once you've got it moving in the correct direction, so you sort of want to bring these over to each other. Once you've made one, there we go. So that's, it just folds down in. So these score lines that were the halfway mark, they fold in. So they're a cave, and then these on the triangle fold out. So you're sort of pushing down into these ones here, and they make that shape there. And like I said, once you've made one, you'll get familiar with how they fold down. It might, you know, the very first time I ever made this, it took me a while to get it to fold where I want it. But then, you know, once you know what you're looking at, then, you know, it's quite easy. And that's it. That's it. So these, I'm going to use glue to put these on. So these need to be, the mechanism piece needs to sit centrally across here, and it sits up to the score line, but not across it and not like right down. So it just needs to sort of sit right at the score line. So when you fold your card over, it's not being interfered with, and you just center it across this way here. So all I'm going to do is line that up, making sure my pointer is just at the score line and not over, making sure that I've got even across on these sides here. And I'm just going to put glue onto this triangle. As I suspected, I need to fix my glue bottle up. Just making sure it's all straight. Glue onto this top triangle. You can use tape on this as well, but you just need to keep in mind it's got a lot of movement. And then just simply fold over the top panel and hold it in place there until it sets. So you want to make sure the glue has grabbed before you move on. And then turn it over. And then we're going to do exactly the same thing on this side here. And then just let that fall into place. So that's your mechanism in place now. Now for this card, now you could use this card so that it comes out this way, but I want mine to be landscape. So you can do it either way. So for mine, it's going to be landscape. So then we need to put on our panel piece, which was the concertina fold here. And what we're going to do is, this card is 4 inches across. So we want to find where the 2-inch or the halfway mark is. So just grab your ruler and mark at 2 inches. And you're going to use the middle score line here, which was at 5. Fold these two end ones in for the moment. And we're just going to line up this score line, this middle score line, with our 2-inch check mark we just did. And you want to just align up to the top so it's nice and level. And we're just going to draw a very light pencil mark halfway down to that score line there. So on the top, and then on the opposite side will be at the bottom. So going from that score line down to the bottom. So you end up with, that was our halfway mark. We lined up the 5-inch score line on here, which was the middle one. And then we just drew down from the end down to that score line. And then on the other side is on the bottom to that score line. So what you're going to do is you're going to put tape into this section here and this section up here. And they're the only two pieces that you put tape onto. So you can do tape or you can do glue. It doesn't really matter which way you go there. I've just got a tape runner that I'm going to use. And again, you don't want to go over your score line. And this has a lot of moving parts, so you do want to make sure that you've got enough glue on there that it's not going to come away when you do it. And then same thing here. I'm just going to put tape onto the bottom section from the score line in the middle to that mark, the pencil mark that we made there. And then you just attach that back down. So we're lining up the center score line with that tick mark that we did at the halfway mark and making sure that our top aligns, and then just simply bringing this out. I'm sorry, I paused my video and I thought I had put it back on. So we have attached it down here on the bottom left. Oops, now it's not wanting to focus. There we go. So we attached it here and attached it at the top. So if we flip that over, we've attached it here, but not on this. And then we've attached it down here, but not here. And that's essentially the whole card. The rest is just the decorating. So like I said, I'm doing mine in a landscape. So when I open it, it's going to come out that way. But you can also do it if you want to do it in the portrait. And so when you flip this out, then you would have your cards running across this way. So you can do it either way. And like I said, you can make these, you know, you could do this off a 6x6 card as well, a 5x7. There's no limits to what you can do. So that essentially is the Twist and Pop card. And I've done all my embellishments there. So what I'm going to do is keep embellishing. And I said at the very beginning of this video that there was a little twist that we were going to do. So stick with me. I'm going to embellish this card now, and then I'll come back to you. I'm just going to speed that up and you'll be able to see that process. But they're just basically mats and layers. There's nothing hard about that. And then we'll come back and have a look at what the twist is. So stick around and I'll just decorate these ones now. So I am, just before I go, I am not going to put anything like on this one here. I did a matte layer on the front. This one here, I'm not going to do that. We don't need a matte and layer on this one. So I'm only going to do mats and layers for the inside of the card. So I'll get cracking on those. And I'm just using the same papers from the same paper pack. And I'm just mixing it up now with a little bit of a green cardstock and pink cardstock. So I used all pink on this one here. But because all the papers are from the same pack, then they're all going to mix and match in anyway. So I'll keep going now and just put these, attach these mats and layers on, and then we'll come back and finish this off. Right, so I've done the mats and layers on here now. Now, as I said, I'm not going to embellish this. So this is where we step it up. So they're both done this exactly the same way. So they're both a twist and pop card. But what we're going to do now is we're going to actually turn this into a little mini album. So you could keep this front part for the card part. And then we're going to create a mini album on the back. So how we do that is we put these two together. So you've got your spines here, and you're just going to flatten these two out. So they're like that. And then we have a connector piece, this piece here, and this is 4 inches by 1.5, and I've scored it down the middle. So I'm just going to do that. And this is going to be what connects these two cards together. And then we're going to create another layer onto that. So I'm going to just attach into there and then attach this one to there, and that's what will make these two be a card. So I am going to use glue for this because we do want this to be nice and sturdy. And I'm just going to bring it right up to the edge of this card here. And using glue also allows you to have that little bit of extra wriggle room as well. I'm just going to make sure that that comes right up to this top edge. Make sure that sticks, allow that glue to set in there before you go and do anything. And then I'm going to put glue onto this side here as well. And I'm going to join the back of this card now onto this hinge. So again, we're going to line up the cards so that they are nice and even along this edge here. So just pop that one back down in place, and so open that back up. Just make sure that that's taken. And so now we have another card. So we had this, and we made that. And then when we come in, and we're going to make one in here, in the middle. So this is now my 12 inches by my 4 inches, essentially scored down the middle. We have the mechanism piece, which was 8 by 3.5. We have scored it down the center, and then we have come in 2.25 inches from each end, top and bottom, and we have done the scoring that creates this X. So all of this is exactly the same. So you end up with 3 twist and pop cards. And like I say, you can make this into a little mini album then. So the one of the layers can be your actual card, and then the other 2 can be where you put your photos. So imagine you do this for, say, I don't know, like a birthday party, a little girl's birthday party, and she has a bunch of friends over. So you could take photos throughout that day and then give her this card as a little keepsake. Or it could be a card that you give a first-time grandmother or nana. It could be a card you give to your great-grandmother or your grandmother, you know, as a little token with photos of your family and that, especially if you've got family that are, you know, living away from where you are. They're just little great you know, keepsakes and mementos for keeping in touch with your family. So again, we're just going to put our little mechanism part, and we're going to put it up to where the score line is, and we're going to make it go central across here, the same as we did in the other one. So you just want to make sure that it's straight and that you've got even amount of space on either side. And then we're just going to glue the triangle piece. So everything is still exactly the same as what we were doing before. And we're going to embellish it the same way as we did before. So I'm just going to bring this card over and down. And you want to make sure that you glue, you know, give your glue a chance to set, because, you know, there's a lot of moving parts to this. So you don't want to get a bit premature. Now, we're at the thickness where it's too thick now to post, but, you know, you can certainly make an envelope, like a little box envelope. You can put a belly band across this as well and wrap it up like a gift. So we're working on the center. So now that one is stuck, we're going to stick this one down the same way. We're just going to put glue onto this triangle piece. And we're just going to flip over this again and let that glue take. So this was our original one, and this can be your front, and this is what we make as the greeting card side of it. So you could put another white piece in here and write your message. I've just used, I've just fussy cut out some of the images that were in the paper, and just, you know, put some little sayings in here. I probably won't put anything there. It's not a card for the inside that you can do a lot of embellishing, and you do need to remember to keep these ones flat. Otherwise, when you go to shut this up, it interferes with it. So I will just put a white space here and write a message. So that could be your greeting. And then we're going to open up. So that was the front, and then the back one here. And this is where you would then use your photos. So you will be able to get a 3x3 photo or 3.5 by 3.5 photo on here. You can get little photos to put in here. And then you've got this back piece here. You can just leave blank, which was, you know, the same as any normal card, or you can put a matten layer on here, which is what I'm thinking I'm going to do. And I'm going to put this on here. And then, so that's the front and the back. And then the last one that we did was in here. We've still got to attach our little panel piece. And again, it will look just like our second one. And you can attach some more photos into there. So potentially you could get 1, 2, and then 3, 4 on the other one. And then, so they would, I'm sure you'd be able to get a 3.5 by 3.5 onto this. Let me just have a look. Yep, so 3.5 by 3.5. Actually, you might have to go down just a bit. You'll definitely get a 3x3. You could go 3.25 by 3.25 photos on here. So you'd have 4 of those, and you would have 8 of these little panels as well. And so these ones here, if you've got those little Insta cameras, they would work really well. So you've got a space here to work with, about 2 3/4 by 1 3/4. So you can easily get some of those little Insta photos on there. So, you know, even if you went, you know, look, if they were having a little birthday party, you know, you could take photos of their friends, or get those little instant cameras where they can take photos of their friends. And so we'll just attach now this last piece onto here, and then that's our little album. That's done. So you can turn a twist and pop card into a twist and pop mini album. I thought that was really cool. It's, you know, it's either a card, and it can be a card and a mini album all in one, just to give to someone as they'd be great little cards, you know, like when you send your family message and you send family photos of at Christmas time to people that, you know, that don't live where you live, and so you want them to catch up with what's happening in your family. Well, these would be perfect for that. You know, grandma and nana, aunties, uncles, they would love getting that sort of stuff. Okay, so this is 4 inches. We have to find the halfway mark. So we're just going to make a little tick mark here at the 2. And we're going to the halfway mark here, which was the 5-inch score line. Just put these flaps out the way for now. You're going to line up that score line with that little check mark that we just did. And you're going to line it up so it's even across the top. And then you're just going to mark down here on the right-hand side for the top layer up to that score line. And then we're going to do the bottom from that score line down. So then tape goes onto this top section here. Glue this as well, and tape goes on to the bottom section, so top on one, bottom on the other. It doesn't really matter whether you put the top on the right or the top on the left, so long as the other side is the opposite. And then we're just going to line up that tick mark that we did here at 2 inches, which is the halfway mark, with our center score line. And we're going to line it up so it's nice and straight across the top. And then we're going to just fold out those flaps, burnish that down so it sticks on there nice and well. And same with this one. And then you would do the same thing again. Oops, my little butterfly is gone. He had such a tiny spot to live in. I've just scraped him off. Let me just attach that back on. Sorry, butterfly. There we go. So the front one could be your card. It could all be a photo album, to be honest. The back one is the same. They're all exactly made the same way. And then you flip out this way as well. And you would do the same embellishing on into that one as well. You can choose whether you're going to put something on the back, which I'll mat and layer this up. And then because it's kind of thick, you could then make a belly band that goes around all of that as well. You know, just with using some of your cardstock and some of your papers, and just make a little belly band that they slip off. How good is that? I thought that was really neat to be able to turn a twist and pop card into a twist and pop mini album. So I hope you enjoyed that little twist at the end, and I will finish embellishing all of that, and I'll add into the back of this video what all of that looks like with my little belly band and everything on it as well. So I hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for sticking around. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel and hit the little notification bell so that you're notified every time I upload a new video. And like I said, this is the tutorial from the Zoom class that I hold every fortnight. It's a free Zoom class for anyone to join in. It's held every fortnight Sunday at 1:30 Queensland, Australia time. You will find all the details to be able to craft along with me on my Facebook page, Crafty Fun with Mary. Click into the Zoom event and you'll find all the details on how to join, how to register for the class, and all the materials that you'll need to make and craft along with me every fortnight. So I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see your photos or anything that you make from these Zoom classes, and you can put up photos in our little community group on Crafty Fun with Mary Facebook group, and show us what you make with your from watching this tutorial. So until next time, bye for now. Okay, so here is it all finished. It's all been and decorated. So I've done my belly band, and I've just done I've cut this little fox out of the paper, and I've just stuck him on, and then I've popped up that little sentiment there: dream, create, inspire. And I've just used mats and layers that I've used the same colors all the way through. And my belly band is the green. And then that's the back. So I'll just take this off and we'll walk you through it. So that's just what we created. This was the first card, is the twist and pop. And you can either put your sentiment or just create it all for a mini album. And then the second one, again, photos can go on here, little photos can go on here. And then the middle one. And then that's what I did on the back. So it makes a great little mini album from the humble twist and pop card, and then add some layers and create 3 more twists and pops. And then that just slides back in its little belly band to keep it all together. Such a great idea. I'm really happy with how this turned out. And it would make a really, really great family gift at Christmas. You could do it all up in Christmas colors, a birthday, anything you want to, you know, have some little keepsake photos or send to your family the photos. And it's not especially all that thick either. So, you know, you could definitely wrap that up or make a box for it. So thanks for sticking around and thanks for joining my Zoom class. I hope I'll see you in another class shortly. Bye for now.